I am teaching people how to heal themselves with the plant. And like more so, I like to tell people like what to do and what things you should probably avoid, like when utilizing cannabis. If some boy just broke your heart, like put it down. No, you need to go write out how you feel and go sit under the full moon and burn it or something like that. It's like there are other steps. Like let's just put it down,
That
just put it
sounds so,
down.
oh my gosh. Can we like bundle that in a self-care
Yes,
package? Like,
yes, yes. And that's what I like to teach people. It's like, wait, like there are other alternatives. I'm a diabetic and it really helps with my blood sugars. When you utilize how it'll just lower your blood sugar and other herbs too. Reconnecting with cannabis when I was 22 helped like open the door to like other like healing things. So with herbs, with crystals, with tarot. I'm a tarot reader and I'm a medium now. So like all of that helped like just like pivot me in the direction of like why I'm on earth and like what my purpose is.
you are meant to talk about shadow work. You are meant to talk about the subconscious and being
Wow.
fearless around that in some way or like whatever your experience is, which also relates to marijuana, actually. Because the 12th house is all about like once again spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
And then the subconscious. And once again, we talked about, that definitely herbs take you there.
Yes. Yes, they do.
Yeah. Yeah. So you learn, I mean, representing and talking about it in a healing way and a spiritual way, that is also just
Yes.
like perfect. It just aligns beautifully. Hello, welcome to the third episode of Intimate Chats with Jess, where I
Mm-hmm.
bring on a special guest that is here to talk about their story, to share what's
Mm-hmm.
been on their heart, and then we can look at their astrology chart. I'll pull up their astrology chart and give a little bit of a mini reading to show
Mm-hmm.
how their story aligns with their chart. Also, I'm an astrologer. I meant to say that. You guys know that by now,
Okay.
but for any new time comers. So yeah, I just needed to do the intro before we got in.
Of course.
Um, so yeah, all right. So let's get into it. So I want to start off by asking you about your story. So kind of give us a
Okay.
little brief of who you are. And I like to do I like to do it like this. So take us back to
Mm-hmm.
young Mia, child Mia.
Oh,
Okay.
my name is Maya.
Oh,
So I'm
Maya.
glad
Thank
that
you,
you
thank you, thank you.
mispronounced my
Okay.
name. No, that's perfect.
Okay. Maya. Yes. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you for correcting me.
Mm.
That's important.
No, it's okay. It's so funny because young Maya, that's literally was my childhood. A lot of people, like when they come across me, the first thing they're going to do is mispronounce my name because it looks like that is Mia, but it's obviously Maya. But so young Maya, I know it's so funny. So it's so aligned already. So
Yay.
young Maya was fierce. Oh my gosh, the like that version of her, I feel like I'm still trying to get back to her. But like I remember like third grade me, like how I would run up to like guys and be like, "Oh, I like you. I want to date you." This is me like 9 years old, just was always just so she said whatever that was on her mind. I didn't really care. You know, when you're a kid, you don't really care about feelings as much or like really care about being like ashamed or anything. You do whatever. So young Maya was fearless. She was wild. Um, you really got me going back. Um, I don't know what to. I think that just really sums up who young Maya it was, just fearless. She was also too. I'm a diabetic. I have type 1 diabetes, so I got that when I was about like 9 years old. I feel like, yeah. So young Maya, although she was like very wild and very courageous, I ended up getting like a disease that literally put like restraints like on me. So I couldn't really be as wild as much. So for anybody who don't, if they don't really know what diabetes is, it's like your body starts producing insulin, and then you have to like cut back on like sugar, got a carb count, whole lifestyle change. And I'm realizing now in that moment that me getting like diabetes put some restrictions on me that I did not like at all. But yeah, very courageous and did not like restrictions. I know you're gonna read my chart later, but I'm an Aries, so
No,
it makes
you're
sense
not
why.
going to
Yeah.
tell me. No, okay,
I'm
don't tell me
sorry.
anymore. No, it's okay. You're fine.
Okay.
And it was obvious anyways. It was very obvious. So, but don't tell me anymore because I do like to guess at the
Okay.
end.
Okay.
But yes.
I'm done. Hmm.
Okay. So now take
Hmm.
me to teenager.
Hmm.
Teenage. You're gonna have to
Teenager.
catch me because I just Maya.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh
Yes.
no, you're A-okay. We
Okay.
just met, so if
Yeah.
you say Mia,
Oh,
that's
thank you.
that's okay.
Thank you for the grace.
Yeah, nah. I'm not. I've gotten used to it now. Like sometimes when people say Mia, I won't even correct them. It just depends on how I feel like that day. But okay, so teenage Maya is not as wild. I don't know. I feel like this version of me was just a lot more shy, to be honest. I started to care more about what other people thought about me. And I started to like my attention started to be fixed on like boys, like men. So I really did start to like care about like the other like sex, like their perspective like of me. This but she was also, even though I was a little bit more calm, I still was like outgoing, I would say. So I was a cheerleader. I cheered from middle school all through like high school. If I could, I tried to cheer in college, but I didn't make the team. But like definitely I still love, like I was still very outgoing. Middle school Maya also, I feel like middle school Maya didn't really know herself as much. Middle school Maya was, and it's funny, you said, yeah. Middle school Maya, she kind of like took on the characteristics of like those around her. So she could like kind of morph into like whoever she was like around, like her friends or her environment. That was middle school Maya. Yeah. Mhm.
And now, wait, how old are you?
How old do you think I am?
Ah, like I feel like my age.
Mhm.
Well, around. I feel like you're in your 20s potentially.
Mhm. I
Yeah.
am. I am.
Okay, you
Hmm.
seem like maybe I'm gonna guess that you're around my age, like 20. I'm 29.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. 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 I just turned 27 this year, so yeah, we are around the same age.
Okay.
What did you
Okay.
ever get to be 29 though? You look like a baby.
Pardon? Oh, yeah. Oh, thanks, girl. It took me so long to like say thank you because I got offended when that I
Mhm.
always but like thank you. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, how's now Maya?
To be honest, adult Maya is still, she's realizing she doesn't know anything, that she's realizing that she's really rediscovering herself. So I am very much outgoing. Adult Maya is a lot more, I would say, chill. I feel like in the beginning stages of my life, I was very like go, 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 go. And I'm realizing that I don't want to be go, go, go all the time. So this Maya is a bit more patient. She's learning to be patient with herself and just be patient like with God, with just patient with everybody else because ooh, impatience has caused me so much stress. And of course it's gotten me in a lot of like things that I probably could have avoided if I would have just taken a step back to like just think about certain things. So um, this Maya truly, truly don't give a F no more. I don't, can we cuss on this?
Oh
I
hell
don't,
yeah, Kurt,
okay,
let it
good.
out.
Yes, this version of mine don't give a fuck. Like I really thought that I was in my I don't give a fuck stage, but I really it's something about this year, maybe 27. I feel like because I'm like about to step into like my Saturn return, like I really just am like on some I don't care. I just want to be me and I just want to be loved like just for me. I feel like the younger versions of me kind of like held off pieces of her depending on who she was around. And now it's just like I'm just gonna be Maya, and whoever can handle it. Because some people's like their ego or their self-esteem won't allow them to embody the full version of me. But now I'm on some that's a personal problem. And this version of me is just happy that she's flourishing and she wants to be around other people who are flourishing as well. So that's where Maya is right now. Mhm.
She sounds beautiful.
Thank you.
Um, okay, so now we transition to What's on your heart? What are you truly passionate in? I mean, you are the epitome of passion, Aries. Okay.
Yeah.
If passion is literally, yeah. Anyways, I was gonna go
Hmm.
into astrology rant, but we're gonna save that.
Nice.
So,
Okay.
yeah, let us
Hmm.
know.
Um, could you ask me the question one more time? I think my
Yeah.
mind started to
Oh
overthink
no, you're
already.
okay. Yeah, what's on your heart? So before I came on here, I let you know, like to let me
Hmm.
know what do you want to talk about, what's been on your heart to express, to share, to be
Yeah.
bold and share your truth or anything that's been heavy on your heart that you just want to release.
Okay. So
Or
what's been
something you're
on?
passionate about.
Uh, um, I'm passionate about a lot of things. The big umbrella of what I'm passionate about is spirituality. So it's like no matter what I'm doing, I can be cooking. I'm going to include some form of like spirituality, like just viewing things from a very like spiritual like viewpoint. And I told you in the email that cannabis is one of the things that I'm just so passionate about. I love it so much. I love how much of a healing plant. So although I love weed to like smoking, and of course everybody loves it for that point. But my main thing is about how cannabis can really heal your mind, your body, and your spirit if you allow it. Cannabis is it's a very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a very powerful plant, and if you misuse her, then she definitely will F up your life, like the energy like of the plant. So with cannabis, I've had to learn that although it can heal me, it has the power to like not I wouldn't say destroy me, but like really like you'll meet the shadow version of yourself if you do not utilize cannabis. And I've had so many stories, I feel like I've had so much experience with it. I like to say that I'm a scientist. We're all scientists. The world is a game of fucking around and finding out. Like that's the
Hmm.
experiment. So I've had to fuck around and found out so many like in so many ways, like with cannabis and so many other things too. And I just like now I'm on the part of my journey where I am teaching people how to heal themselves with the plant. And like more so, I like to tell people like what to do and what things you should probably avoid, like when utilizing cannabis. So that's what's on my heart right now.
I love
Mhm.
that. I love that perspective. It's very unique. I feel like we don't hear enough about that perspective, which
Thank
is beautiful. I want you to keep
you.
like talking about it. So now I'm interested. So like, okay, take us back to your journey of like, and I don't know
Mm.
why I keep using the word beautiful. I swear I
Mhm.
sound like cheesy when I'm saying things, but I mean it. That's just the word that I feel right now. Maybe that's just your spirit.
Mhm. Mhm.
But
I feel it. I feel it. It's okay.
You're like, yeah, I know I'm beautiful. Yeah, I feel. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That
That
was a
too.
joke.
That too. But I can
Exactly.
feel the cadence and the tone of your voice that I know that what you're saying is actually like what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So take us back to your journey with it. Like, how did you
Okay.
get started with it? And then, well, let's just start there. Yeah. How'd you?
Okay. The very first time that I was introduced into cannabis, I was 16 years old. I think it was like the guy who I was like dating. I think we were like friends, like on that like transition. But like I think I smoked for the first time. I didn't like it. My body did not like cannabis. Like it made me feel really sad when I smoked it. I was overthinking about everything. I'm just like everybody's like around me like high as hell, and I'm just like this ain't really it. So my body didn't really agree with it when I was 16. um, then when I was about, it was 2020. I remember like the end of 2019 going into 2020. You know, that was like COVID times. I feel like everybody was smoking then or started then because like it wasn't nothing to do. Like what else was there to do? But I was dating this guy at the time and he started like to like smoke. And I didn't really smoke. He would kind of just like smoke and like blow it into my mouth, stuff like that. I wouldn't really say I was like a smoker then. But something about when 2020 hit, I remember I sat down and I made like these like I guess like these 2020 like resolutions, and I was like I'm going to focus on meditating and just my spirituality. For some reason, I feel like I was reintroduced to back when I started to like really get into my spirituality. It kind of just like bridged like a gap. Like I got closer to God. Like that was my intention, but I like literally helped me to just really just understand there's just like God and like everything. And it really just put me on my healing journey. So I think I was 22 in 2020. Yeah, so around 22, I got introduced to it again, and it just at the time it worked for me. And I think it's so funny how when I was 16, my body didn't really resonate with it, but when I was 22, it just felt like the like divine timing when I was introduced to. And at that time, I feel like that's when I started like I kind of like stepped away from like religion at that time because I really just I started to see God in everything, and it really made me like question like a lot of things. So at that time I kind of like stepped away from like religion, and I realized that like I didn't really need to be in church to like receive messages from God. I'm like I could really sit here, go smoke, go sit at the park and meditate, and I can receive like messages from like God that way. And so yeah, so I got closer to God when I started to smoke. And then with my health, like I said, I'm a diabetic, and it really helps with my blood sugars. Like that's another thing I can't wait to like tell people about, how when you utilize weed, how it'll just lower your blood sugar, and other herbs too. So basically, long story short, um reconnecting with cannabis when I was 22 helped like open the door to like other like healing things. So with herbs, with crystals, with tarot. I'm a tarot reader and I'm a medium now. So like all of that helped like just like pivot me in the direction of like why I'm on earth and like what my purpose is. So yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I have a question. When
Okay.
you okay, so you said pretty much you didn't you tried it at around
Hmm.
16 and
Hmm.
then you just tried it that one time and then you didn't use it again until you were 20?
Tried it like 2 or 3 times like after that, but like it was no more than three. But I
Okay.
realized early on I don't like it.
Okay, okay, okay. So that is interesting. And I think maybe, and I want to know your opinion on why you may have had a better experience with it. What do you
Mm,
feel about the people who have smoked it since they were like
mm,
13, 15, 14? Do you think that would have that how do you feel? Because
mhm.
I say this because like I've heard that it can mess it your you can have more negative effects when you use it when you're in your teens, and it doesn't maybe it may not be the same experience, or they may go through the what you'll share later of how it gets
Yeah.
you into trouble, or
Yeah.
whatever. So
I 100% agree. Like when I like now, every time I like think back on it, I thank God that I did not like it when I was 16, because like I'm like the amount of not I didn't go through a bunch of bad stuff, but it's more so it's like you go through like spiritual awakenings. And if you're 13 years old and if you're smoking, a lot of the time, what other 13-year-old around you is going to be able to explain the spiritual awakenings you're going through? Or like, it's like certain things that you just start to become like aware of. Your little fragile 13-year-old mind. It's just like you need a lot more guidance and support. So I honestly, I don't advocate for anybody. I'd say at the age of 20, not even 18. Like, wait till you
mm,
get out of your teens. When you step
interesting.
into the 20s, I feel like that's when you should start experimenting. Now, it depends on certain things, like, like I see like this little boy, he has some type of like nerve thing. And, like I said, it's certain health benefits it gives you. Like when he did like a little bong, it wasn't a bong rip. They put it in like a water bottle, but he like inhaled the smoke through the water bottle, and he stopped like twitching and his body was normal. So like it depends on certain like health things in your age, that plays a part. But like if you don't got no health issues and if you're fine, stay away from the until you're about 20. That's
Mm.
personally how I feel. Like if it's not for a health reason, and you just trying to just be high, just wait till your 20s. Get out of your teens first and get into your 20s and experiment with it then.
So does mental health count?
Mental health, yes, because that's one of the reasons why I
Ah.
use it now. Like in college, when I started to like experimented with it again, I was starting to deal with like heavy like depression.
Mhm.
So and like PMS stuff. So it helped me Like I feel like when I needed it, that's when the cannabis like reappeared in my life again. But back when I
Mm.
was like 16, I didn't need to be smoking. And I
Yeah, and
think that's
that's
why
what I
my body,
mean. Yeah, so that's what
yeah,
I mean because a lot of people, in my opinion, attack, uh, get connected to it through
yes.
mental health or not diagnosing, but like, struggles and
Yes,
emotional and
yes.
struggles. So do you agree that that will be a good reason to use it in your teens?
Um, I still would personally say no. And like I said, it depends on what it is that you've been through. Because some things are just really effing traumatic. And
Mm.
because it's such a powerful plant, when used right and setting certain intentions, it can help you get over like traumatic things. But if it's not, like if some boy just broke your heart, like put it down. No, you need to go write out how you feel and go sit under the full moon and burn it or something like that. It's like there are other steps. Like let's just put it down.
That
Just put it
sounds
down.
oh my gosh. Can we like bundle that in a self-care
Yes.
package? Like,
Yes. Yes. And that's what I like to teach people. It's like, wait, like there are other alternatives. And the thing that you were saying about how when people when they are going through certain like things mentally, I was getting my master's in like public health, and when I used to write like my papers on it, the research it does show that if you are going through something like mentally or if you're battling things, you're naturally are going to be drawn to substances that are going to help like ease the pain. So it makes sense that because you're going through a heartbreak that you are drawn toward like any substance. It's not just, it can be liquor, it can be, it's all types of stuff out there now that people be on. So everybody's just looking for like a little like blanket or a little band-aid to like help like ease them through it. But sometimes you just gotta sit through it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I love this topic. Oh, I'm glad you like were open about it because I mean at this point I feel
Yeah.
like it's all over the internet. I mean at this point
Yes.
I assume everyone does it. Like and if they don't do it, they not being well, I'm not gonna say that because we'll talk about like I actually have never done it ever. Only because I grew up, I'm from California. All my family,
Ah,
I grew up around it.
yes.
Unfortunately, my early childhood experience of growing up around it was negative because the
Mm.
people I was around, the way it made them, I think I feel I was like I don't want that. I don't
Yes.
want so that messed me up. Oh, not messed me up because it's fine, but that's why
Yes.
I was like no, I don't like the way. But then I had to grow up and then I met other people who actually uses it and you wouldn't even tell and they're a
Yes.
responsible adult. And so I had to like switch
Hmm.
my mind, and that's how we'll talk more about that. But so yeah, okay. So then you talked about when you first started it. Um, so then where did the transition go to, or take us along the journey of you using it and then realizing that you maybe weren't using it in the right ways, or maybe it started to have negative effects, and then where
Mm.
you had that transition.
Okay, so boom. So this is me thinking back to college. When I first started using it, I like I said, it was just more so with the guy that I was like dating. So I would only like use it like, when I was like around him. Um, I'm trying to think about, damn, when was it ever bad? My mind likes to
Or
remember the
maybe
good.
not. I didn't know. I didn't know if you had like a negative experience or you've always had approached it with the healing you've always you utilize maybe you have.
Nah, I
Oh, okay.
I did not approach it that way. Like
Okay.
not in the beginning. It
Uh-huh.
was when I realized I was starting to get like I guess a little bit like codependent on it. I
Mm.
think the people who I was hanging around at the time were using it in a more codependent way instead of a healing way.
Mm.
So I don't think that it was really bad because I'm telling you, it got me through college. It really
Mhm.
it really
Mhm.
did. I didn't realize how bad I was in a slump until like when I was like smoking like consistently. And I'm looking back and I'm just like, damn, like I really was like in a slump. Like my depression was so bad. I think I didn't do laundry for like 3 months. Like I would legit like just wash like my underwear, like the necessities that I need. But I was just like sitting and just like my laundry. And I remember like when I finally had like the energy to do it, like when you're cleaning up and you're realizing that like, damn, like I was really like in a funk. Like when I consistently like had the weed, I was more productive. I was getting like my work done and even just like my overall mood. So I think more so I was always using it in a no, let me not say always because there is this one little thing where I realized sometimes I can kind of mess up. But like overall, I think I had like a good approach. But when it came to like sex, that's when I realized, okay, I'm utilizing it in the wrong way. I feel like I had a lot of like sexual partners at that time just because if we're all grown, so when you're having high, like when you're smoking, it just feels so good. And I think I just got used to that and that feeling. So, but I think it was just also me just being in college because when I moved back home, I'm not sexually active at all. So I think it was just also just my environment and who I was just hanging around at the time. But yeah, yeah, I think that's
Mm.
it.
Okay, so do you recall a time where you, um, I guess, well, would you say that you use it more intentionally now, or you're better at using, you
Yeah.
have a better relation?
Okay, so yes, I'm using it a lot more intentionally now. And I feel like I kind of was forced to, like a little bit, because like I said, I'm a medium and I do tarot. And I realized that when I do my readings for certain, like, well, when I do readings for people, and like there's just a certain way that like my aura has to be and how my energy has to be to show up like in that way. I view my mediumship as like a job, like that's why God like put me here on earth. So it's just like when you showing up for your job, wouldn't you want to be like the best like version of yourself? So when I had that like came to that conclusion, I realized that okay, I can't just be like smoking like all the time. Like it has to be like intentional when I'm using the plant. Like is something hurting? Is your mood feeling down? Okay, utilize it. If you're just smoking because you're bored, then like yeah. So it's like more so I had to like catch myself and when I was just using it to just be bored and like just going in excess, that's the word? Excess? I think that's the
Mm-hmm.
word. Yeah, yeah. So I feel like glutton would be like the word. I think that's like the word that people like use, but just going in excess. So I realized I had to like scale back on that. Cause even like health wise, something like my throat wasn't feeling too good at one point. So I realized that okay, there are healthier ways for you to like utilize cannabis. So now like I eat more like edibles and stuff like that. And like that has been teaching me like patience. So it's like what the it's been like showing me is that I just need to take care of my body so I can show up for like my purpose and just to take care of like my overall like self. Mhm.
Okay, so I'm glad you transitioned into like how you use it because I want to know how you use it.
Okay.
Like break it down as
Mhm.
and like what do you yeah, and then number two is how often do you use it?
Mm. Okay, so I utilize for a lot of reasons. So one, I told you I have diabetes, so I use it to help like with my blood sugar. I have something called PMDD. It's like PMS, but it's like times 100. Like it really
Mhm.
feels like depression, like when you have like your regular PMS symptoms. But it's like it's just horrible. And I'm really bitchy. Like at the time, I can be really mean, and it's not because I'm trying to. It's just because I just feel so horrible. So I realized that I utilized that in place of my antidepressants. I used to be on antidepressants and I didn't like the way it felt. So
Mhm.
that's what basically happened. I was on like different like medication, like my ADHD medication and like antidepressants and stuff. And I didn't like the way they were feeling, like making me feel horrible side effects. So I'm like, let me find something else that can like replace it. I'm a firm believer in like you just can't take something out of your life and not like put something else and replace because you're just going to like fail. You need something else to help you with it. So I realized weed was really good for that, like helping with keeping my blood sugar down, keeping my mood stable, and helping me to like stay focused. Because that's what the ADHD medication was like helping me with, anyways, like staying focused and then with my mood. So I kind of like replace I what I did was I identified like why I was using those medications, and then I found other herbs and that can like do the same thing for me, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, like the holistic route.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
Yep.
hmm
Yep.
Okay. Wow. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm gonna have to because this I'm trying to make this like an hour, so I have just like okay, let me focus on the priority questions. Okay, so what then do you like what how do you consume it? Or how do you I don't even know how
Okay.
you
So let me walk you through. So right now, like I said, I'm taking a break from like smoking. So
Mhm.
lately I've been using just edibles.
Okay.
And I've learned, I've been playing around with like the milligrams. So I know like how many milligrams is enough for me to like get through a day and how many milligrams I need to take if I'm finna go party. Like, so I've had to like learn like, okay, you don't need this much if you're just going to like go do some yoga or something like that. So,
Mm.
but so edibles is what I usually do.
And
I
that's like
also,
through, I mean, that's like explain it like I'm a beginner. 'Cause, like what do you
okay,
like what kind of are they like what are they like
gummies.
candies or
Okay,
gummies? Yeah.
yeah, so I like to stick to gummies. I don't get anything like chocolate, like I'm lactose intolerant, so that usually has milk in it. So we're gonna stick to gummies. I get mines from I have a weed card, so I just like go to the dispensary, and at the
Oh.
dispensary, yeah, dispensary they're like 10 milligrams, like they have low dosages. So like 10 milligrams of an edible can like get me through like a third of my day. I realized that I need like 3 doses of weed, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, throughout the day. So probably something when I wake up, something for like a midday, like pick me up, and then something for the evening times. But then I realized too that if I like use or eat an edible too late at night, it kind of messes with my dreams. So like literally I'm
Mm.
like at 7 p.m., that's my cutoff. So it's like I can't eat an edible or like smoke or do anything after 7 p.m. So
Mm.
it's so funny because throughout my day, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's almost 7. So I'm like rushing to like pack a bowl and like eat.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's my cutoff time. But yeah, so that's what I would do if I was having an edible. Usually I like a joint or like a bowl. I mean a bong. I don't know if you know what a bong
Yeah,
is.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You said you've seen people do it. So usually,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So if I'm smoking like a joint, then I will like roll one for that day. And then throughout that day, I'm picking it up. So it's like I'll smoke like a third of it in the morning, a third in the middle of the day, and then like a third right before like 7 like
Mm.
hits. So I would space it out like that. I realized I need three, like I said, three. I don't know why the word's not
Yeah,
coming
like
out.
doses.
Yeah, 3 doses.
Or
Yeah. That's how I view it now as my
yeah.
medication, 3 doses throughout the day. And it works well for me. Hmm.
Wow, that's so wow. I'm just like I love like it's interesting because like I said, I'm very like aware of like I
Hmm.
just know so many, so it's interesting to see how you are intentional, like how you use
Hmm.
it, and that's so important. Okay, so I want to know about the throat thing.
Hmm.
And then shoot, you said something else, but I forgot. Yeah, so what do you mean? Tell us like what do you mean
Hmm.
about the throat? Like what did you notice?
Okay, so I noticed. So on my beautiful journey, we all know the only thing that's supposed to go into your lungs is air, nothing else. So I just learned that along the journey that me smoking just wasn't really helping like my throat chakra. I'm very big on like chakras, and my body will let me know when something just isn't working for me anymore. But like the back of my throat would just feel like kind of like sore. And like, how would it feel? Like, it would just also be a little bit harder for me to breathe. I realized because smoking just creates more mucus, like mucus in the body, and mucus is usually like the cause of most diseases. And I could literally feel like the excess, like mucus, like in my body. So I was like, okay, like since I've cut back on the smoking, my throat feels a lot better. And I've also been like, I do like other things too, like put some black castor oil that's really good for like helping with like pain, getting rid of like any like inflammation. Because I've been, just eating my edibles and putting the black castor oil on my throat, like I've been fine, and I've been to the doctor. They've said that I've been okay. So I think it's just more so just the heat from the smoking. I realize my body and my throat just doesn't like the heat, which is why if I am going to smoke, it's gonna be with the bong. The water helps like cool down the smoke. But yeah, just we just realized we just got to be healthier from now on when it
Yeah.
comes to using it.
Yeah. Did you hear that?
No.
Okay, I just screenshot it because I'm gonna I'll tell you later.
Okay. Okay.
But just so I'm not throwing you off. Okay, that is so oh my gosh, just important. I feel
Hmm.
like I've heard a lot of people experience that. Um, even with the coughing too.
Yes.
And how that can impact. But the fact of yeah, to think of the effect of it and for you to kind of try to, change it. It's just interesting. It's just interesting.
Yeah.
That is a very interesting viewpoint on that. I appreciate that. And then also you said the patience. You said you had
Hmm.
to learn from you using the edibles
Edibles.
patience.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So it's so easy to just like grind up some weed and pack a bowl and smoke it, or just like roll a joint. But with an edible, you really have to just sit there and just wait for it to like hit, for your body to like digest it. And a lot of people, they like, even just in this day and age, a lot of people, they lack patience. We can't wait on anything anymore. So I just had to learn that like I don't need to like feel like so quick to just like wanting to just like smoke. Like I just have to catch myself, like just being intentional. Like, why are you doing it? Because I know that it takes about like an hour, hour and a half for like an edible to hit. And then, you're just gonna like climb uphill from there. But like you really have to like pinpoint when to take an edible. And sometimes it may be too late at night to take an edible. So it's like knowing it helped me to like utilize my time better. Because sometimes when you do smoke, you can get a little bit lazy. You can get a little bit like tired and stuff. So you have to, like, with edibles, you have to ask yourself, like, while I'm using it, what am I doing? Because sometimes if you're not disciplined enough, you can get lost. And that's what I said. Like, the can like drag you into places that you don't really want to be because you're just tired, or you just want to like feel good. But yeah.
Okay, okay. So much good greatness out of this. So to wrap it up, so we can
Yeah.
transition, what would you leave off? What is the overall message of like, yeah, like
Hmm.
what would you tell someone who, what do you feel like people need to know about using cannabis and even yeah, that.
Yeah, no, no, you're good. So what I would tell people is, one, they need to know that cannabis is a very spiritual plant. It's a plant. It can also hear you like any other plant. Studies have shown that when you speak to your plants, that they are receptive to that. They hear that. So people need to view it as something like literally like it's magical and it's a treasure. When you are utilizing, whether it's through edible, bong, you're smoking it, whatever state that you're in, the will reflect that. And if you're not ready to see what state you are in, then maybe you should not be utilizing. Like this has been put on this plant to teach you things about yourself. And if you're not ready to accept accountability, then maybe you should go like you'll find something else to like do. But it's very healing and it's a very rewarding plant to work with. You just have to be ready for what it like brings. Like it's not something, everybody should not be utilizing weed. That's how I feel. That's the message.
Okay, sorry. Okay, that brought me to one more thing, and I have to ask. Okay, so would you say though, like my also thing that I've experienced from people, and that's just their relationship, and I feel like a lot of people, especially if they start to use it young,
Mm-hmm.
is they use it as an escape.
Yes.
So how, okay, so then, because I've never done it, so meaning,
Yeah.
okay, so you say that it can help you see certain things that you need to kind of face or like heal through or uh what is the defining difference between a person who experiences that? Then how do they, because like yeah, how would you counteract that with like me seeing people use it as an escape and feeling like, oh, if they're sad or if they're upset, they just use it so they can numb their feelings and not actually.
Hmm.
Are they still feeling it during? So yeah.
So what I would say that it's like that's where the accountability like comes in. Like if I'm sad and I'm using it to help numb my sadness, eventually you need to go address why you are sad. Like marijuana,
Mm.
my friend made me realize that utilizing marijuana is like a band-aid. It's just gonna put a band-aid over the
Yeah.
problem. Until
Hmm.
you are ready to address it, or until you are in an environment that's safe enough for you to address it, like you need to address it at some point. Because if not, one thing I realized about you, if you do not, it will push it to the forefront and you will have no choice but to address it, and you might not like the way that it comes up. That's why people
Mm.
experience anxiety. That's why they experience like hearing like voices and like thoughts in your head. Baby, that's you. That's your shadow. That's everything that you keep trying to smoke to like avoid. It's ready for you to address it so you can get that monkey off your back, get that anxiety out of your head. So it's not supposed to, yeah, it's not surgery at the end of the day. It's
Mm.
not surgery. You're gonna have to do the work. Marijuana is there for you. Marijuana is gonna like hold your hand and like walk you like along the journey to address those feelings, but you cannot escape them.
Mm. So can you tell a story or a little, give us, okay, let me picture the
Hmm.
experience, like what you just said, like if you don't, then marijuana will force you or cannabis will
Yes.
force you. So what is that? What is the experience? What does that look like?
Like being
Yeah, like
like,
how does that, like how, yeah, like do you have a memory of you
hmm, let me
like what do
see.
you feel? Is it more so like, okay, when you start to have like maybe that's another thing. Remind me. I said I want to close it out, but I'm thinking of what people will want to hear.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, the last thing I do want to talk about before this, but remind me, is addiction.
yeah.
But say for instance, yeah, they are like going through stuff and they always turn to the cannabis, and then I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it makes them feel good in the moment, but then they keep repeating the same, they're not healing.
Like,
So is that an
yeah.
example of it? Realizing like having this epitome of like, oh, what am I doing? Like, or this is not like, what would you say?
So what I would say, if people, the one thing I love about marijuana is you can meditate with the energy. So you can go ahead, you can connect with God, your
Mhm.
higher self, whatever like higher power you believe in, your ancestors or whatever. You can literally go ahead, like if you feel like, dang, I am stuck in a cycle of addiction,
Mhm.
you're gonna go to the plant. You're going to speak intentionally over it. You're gonna smoke it, ingest it however you are, and you're gonna manifest, and you're just gonna be asking yourself, why why do I feel this way? How did I get here? Like the weed, like I feel like that's what
Oh.
the plant wants you to do. Like ask the questions, so then God will start delivering signs. It's like you're
Mhm.
the scientist, so you're gonna have to ask those questions. And when you ask questions and you actually go down that path of discovery, the answers will pop up. But it's really an accountability thing at the
Mhm.
end of the day. And a lot of people just need the strength to, the strength to even just face that, because sometimes the answers that you get are not answers that you want to like hear, and which is why I like to pair weed with other herbs. That's a whole nother
Oh
topic, but
wow. Okay, we'll save
yes,
stuff from you for your
yeah,
channel because we want people to go
yeah,
to your social. So okay,
of
so
course.
just a little bit snippet of like the addiction.
Hmm.
What would you say to people who have a who may the what do you, not the haters, but like pushback for what you're saying? Because a lot of people
Uh-huh.
say like, well, it's addicting, and yeah, like what do you say about that?
Okay. You can be addicted to anything. It's not just weed. You can be addicted to sugar. Half of goddamn America is addicted to sugar and salt. Addiction is just, it's a heart chakra thing. And like I said, a lot of the stuff, a lot of the times when people say certain things, like everything is just spiritual. So you can still be addicted to weed. But when you are addicted to something, that's like your heart chakra is just like, it's like calling out for love. What you really want is love. What you want is understanding. What you want is peace. What you want is grace. But you find that in the plant. You find that in weed or whatever it is that you find yourself being addicted to. If you are utilizing it, because I utilize it for my depression too. Like sometimes it comes up, but I realize I've been able to get through my depression through accountability and not. I know some people may not like that, but sometimes you are depressed because of what you do. If it's something external, of course, but the weed is just helping you to just accept accountability, and then really just show you your power, to show you that you can heal yourself. You're bigger than your environment, and you're bigger than whatever it is that you're going through. That got kind of deep, but
Oh,
everything to
that
me,
is exactly. You're in the right place for that.
like everything really is that deep, especially when it comes to addiction. Addiction is just, you got to look at your root chakra and your heart chakra, and that's usually where the addiction, like where it's just being held at. But
Mm.
yeah, like I said, we can get into this on my own channel. That's
Yeah,
the type of stuff I
yeah.
get into.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm taking away a big takeaway. I mean, there's been
Hmm.
so many things, but it sounds like what I liked about what you said. I mean, I've liked a lot of things what you said, but like something stood
Hmm.
out to me how you have. I mean, when you're talking about your doses or just how you use it when you're by yourself versus when you're going out and wanting to have
Yeah.
fun. Really huge distinguishers. I think
Mhm.
people should really approach the using with that
Yes.
mindset. Meaning, it sounds like you gain more of maybe the healing qualities, the spiritual qualities connection to
Yes.
it when you use it and then you go off and like use it to sit with yourself
Yes.
and that or even go outside in nature and be by
Hmm.
yourself so then you can like hear get receive the guidance. But if you're doing
Yes.
it just around to have a good time, if it's dedicated to fun, then you're not gonna be using it for like the most beneficial.
Yeah. Yes. Hmm.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Cool. Okay. All right. Well, now
Hmm.
we shall move on. So, you've seen your chart, I assume. You seem to be well equipped.
Yes.
Okay, so immediately you come off as like fire to me. I mean, you seem like you got a lot of fire.
Uh-huh.
So like I wouldn't even be surprised, but it almost seems too good to like I don't know. I wouldn't maybe I don't know. But I definitely feel like you have to have double fire. You have to have more fire in you. And so I'm gonna say I feel like your moon is fire.
Hmm. Okay.
Perhaps. Maybe
Okay.
not. But let me see. So when I first saw you, before you talked, you gave me like I shoot, it was like I don't know what. See, this is kind of okay. Let me stop overthinking it.
Yeah,
Um, Fudge. Okay, so yeah, you just gave me more like Earth vibes or like neutral
okay.
vibes.
Okay.
Um, but see, this is why I don't like this game because it's like I want to ask you questions, but we're not gonna do that because we are on a time crunch. So I'm just gonna go with you talked about or,
Follow your
um
intuition.
oh God, I don't want to. Well,
Mm.
I want to say fire. I want to say Taurus.
Okay.
I want to, but maybe not. I'm overthinking. Okay, let me just go with my freaking, I don't know, but let me just
Hmm.
go with it. Um, no, I'm overthinking it. I'm trying to think about everything that you said, and then I'm going and trying to define it. I think you're okay. I'm gonna just say, I think you're a fire moon.
Okay.
Um, Shoot, like I almost want to say, I almost want to say, but maybe not. I don't know. I almost want to say Aries moon.
Mm.
Um, I don't like these reactions you're giving me. And then I don't know. I want to say, yeah, Earth, 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 fire. But you did say
Okay.
you're water. And moons be mysterious because, I don't be trusting the water sign. Y'all be like merging. I don't know. But you did say you like
Hmm.
water, so I didn't know that part of you. So now I'm like, you could be okay. I'm gonna give you this. I think
Okay.
earth. I think fire,
Hmm.
earth, and water. Pisces, perhaps,
Hmm.
is in there too. So frick, dang. Okay, I'm just gonna
Okay.
like name things. Just know I think earth, fire, water, okay?
Okay.
But if I could say something, I'm just gonna give you I don't know. I just want to say like Leo rising. I don't know, that just came to me. I'm just gonna say
Okay.
Aries sun, and then I'm gonna say fudge. I'm gonna say fudge. I'm just gonna say Aries moon. Maybe not. Maybe not. But or maybe Pisces moon. I don't know. But this the Aries part is just the air. That fire is really burning through. My
Yes.
second thought, though, my initial, I did think you were a triple fire, but I'm just like, I don't know. So, anyways, so
Mm.
those are my guesses. Okay, I'm done with this game. Because I'm an Aries moon, so I can be very, like,
Mhm.
oh, I'm like competitive. Like, I need to be right. This is all fun. Okay, cool. Ah,
Yes.
you just, tricky, tricky. See, that's why you got all that Aries. See, it was
Yeah.
overpowering all this other stuff.
I'm a stellium, an Aries stellium, so definitely.
Yes. Okay. Oh, wow. See, okay, Earth. Okay, Virgo. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense with the herbs. Definitely makes sense with
Yes.
yes, everything that you're saying. Okay. See, I totally forgot about Virgo. A Virgo is hard because it's a moon. Usually, if you're a Virgo rising, you will be not as like, yeah, okay. Anyways, okay.
Hmm.
Okay, cool. Okay, so all right, I'm gonna just give you a quick like synopsis of your big three.
Okay.
And then I think I may talk about I just want to dabble in like what is your focus right now during specifically Gemini season. Like
Okay.
like where you should be focusing your attention to and where
Definitely.
you're probably already. Okay, so all right, so you're Cancer rising. So your kind of viewpoint, do you know about astrology, so I don't have to tell you like what's the rising
I
sign.
I do know about astrology, but I still like when you
Okay,
give
fine.
like the
Okay,
yeah,
I do
yeah.
it. I do it. Okay, so for me, rising sign is like your over outlook on life. It's the thing that's going to be, it's where you're going to experience the most. What are your themes? Your overall life
Mm.
themes that you see are going to come up in your life. So for
Okay.
you, I just see you as somebody who a home, family, um, into like an intuitive
Yeah.
experiences, connections, gifts, or maybe using that, or someone who like caring, like loving,
Hmm.
someone who probably is once again has a very personal connection to their home space, meaning they may like to keep it clean, or there's a very like unique comfort. Security is like you're in your home. It could be physical
Yeah.
or it could be internal, like your body, your
Hmm.
internal home.
Hmm.
So once again, someone who craves like some sort of family connection, whether it could be
Hmm.
real family or just people who you deem as family who feel safe
Yeah.
and secure, safe. Security is important. Comfort is
Very.
important, especially when it comes to emotions. And then yeah, just like themes around home, family, and like internal care and ancestry and stuff like that, and connection to
Yeah.
your mind. And I mean, your like how you take care of your body.
Yes.
So, I'm gonna see that around. So I like to like look at so the about the ruler of each sign.
Yes, I do. Hmm.
Okay, so yeah, it's the moon. So that kind of helps me. That's a little cheap. That's a little extra advanced astrology. So where is
Hmm.
all this energy? You're rising. Where is it going to be your focus on again in your life the most? And that's your third house. Your third house
Yep.
represents your day-to-day life, your communication, who you talk to
Hmm.
on a day, like neighbors, like family members, extended family members, cousins, siblings, all of that
Hmm.
learning but through like writing, so very much that is a big theme for you. Would you say so?
Yes, I agree.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, okay. So then we go to your sun sign, which is
Hmm.
Aries. Aries is all about expressing yourself, living your passions, doing, taking action, and being fearless about like being your true self.
Hmm.
Self-identity, but like that I don't give a this is who I am kind of energy
Yeah.
is like right on it for Aries, especially as they get older. They
Hmm.
really learn to just be themselves and express themselves, and they realize that they're actually here to be the like the warrior, the courageous one, the one who leans into the fear when everybody else may
Yeah.
not, and they need and it actually helps people to um like maybe like fighting for what like maybe some people how like maybe the one saying the thing that other people are scared of or doing the thing that other people are
Hmm.
scared of, so it like motivates people.
Yep.
So that as well, also like there's a connection to like taking care of your body. That's another thing for you, like body care is
Yep.
important. And yeah, like you just how you express yourself even outwardly sometimes. Like I don't know if you
Yeah.
care about like your appearance. Like I don't know if you're into fashion, like meaning like that.
I
Like you're
I
super
am.
okay.
Hmm.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Hmm.
So you are meant to express who you are through your voice, but through action. Mainly that is like
Mm.
very action oriented. Definitely can be hot-headed, definitely can have a temper, definitely can be
Yeah.
impatient. Um, and interesting enough, a lot of Aries, like people with Aries energy, it actually struggles with being like. So the thing is, just because they are you're supposed to be courageous and like
Right.
all that, they still are fearful. So they actually have to
Hmm.
navigate through. They actually very like can be super fear based, but as they get older and they lean more into themselves, their lesson is to like do it scared anyways, or like lean
Yeah.
into it and like, don't let the fear limit them, that
Hmm.
is what they're here to do, like to be burst out of that. So yeah, and then also independence. Being independent
Hmm.
is a big one as well. So and also we talked about sex. That's a big thing. Aries
Hmm.
has high sex drives. Yeah. So so yeah, so where is it? It's in your 10th house, which represents your career, your public
Hmm.
life, meaning like how you are perceived in the world. That may
Hmm.
be important to you in some way, maybe not, I don't know. But your career, your accomplishments, those are like big themes for you.
Hmm.
When you maybe when you're aligned to the career that you want, or you're being recognized for the things that you d deserve to be recognized for,
Hmm.
you are in your most power. You feel your best.
Yep.
So, but also you have just so much in there. So you are actually meant to like be in the public eye,
Hmm.
for sure. So, yeah, how does all that? Do you want to share a little bit more about like your experience of like how that connects to you being a Aries sun in the 10th house?
Yes. So what this placement, before I really even knew about this placement, before like working for other people, I really didn't like working for other people as much. And even when I would like work my jobs, I'm like, I'm here because I need to like make money and do stuff like that. But there was always just this feeling of like, I don't really want to be here. I would rather be doing something else. And I remember like when I finally like I was like reading up on my chart and I'm like Aries in the 10th house just makes so much sense. I'm like I don't care to work for other people and I'm like literally in my chart that makes so much sense. So that's why I've stepped out and I've started like my own business. I'm a content creator now and honestly when I saw like my chart, that gave me even more of a push to like not go back to like 9 to 5. I'm like, I don't have to. My chart literally is showing me that I don't have to rely on that. If I wanted to, I could. I can go manage something for somebody else. But I was like, why would I be in a manager role for somebody else when I can just manage my own business? And I'm doing that like now. And it feels good to be like the one behind it. Like this is all me. And I know it's definitely the Aries in the 10th house
Yes.
energy.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Hmm.
Definitely. Yeah, and like you being independent in your career is definitely important.
Yeah.
Um So I do, well, you are going to be experiencing your Saturn return.
Hmm.
Congrats. Congrats to that.
Is it?
Well, it's a blessing and
It
they're
is.
very uncomfortable. Well, for everybody's different, you know? If you're
Yeah.
okay with like if you're super self-aware, you know, and I
Hmm.
thought I was, but anyways, I'm not, everybody's experience is different. So I don't like to
Yeah.
enforce my experiences, but it will show some like definitely like you'll be feeling it within the like public. So maybe the biggest thing I feel like whenever the Saturn is going through the 10th house or Saturn period is a slowdown before the speed up, especially because Saturn is in Aries, which once
Hmm.
again is Aries usually like is quick. So that is a good thing about the if it's it the good thing about Aries is they are a doer. If they feel
Yeah.
it, they want to act on it. They're usually the first to even come up with like certain things, you know? The problem is sometimes if they are looking for the results, they can like they have to
To quit.
realize that that
Yeah.
is gonna take longer than like the inspiration that they have.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, for you, it'll just be like maybe you taking your career seriously.
Hmm.
And then also being patient with the progress of that.
Yep. That's the energy right now. But it's pushing me like you said, I've chosen to take my career more seriously, and I see how like every day, like how it's helping. I'm building momentum. Like it's just patience. I like I said, I look at my chart and I already know what the end result is gonna be. So it gives me a little like it helps me to be patient. Like yeah. That's why I
Yeah.
love astrology.
Yes, me too. Me too. I'm like, how do I just don't understand. I'm like, who wouldn't want like a map pretty much saying like, hey, what
Yes.
you're experiencing, it's what you need to be experiencing. It's okay. You're not crazy.
Yes.
Like, I don't know. But
Yes.
okay, so then all right, so right now the sun is transiting through your 12th house, which is in Gemini.
Hmm.
So you've been doing a lot of, or maybe needing to do more behind the scenes work. Maybe
Shadow
you've been
work.
doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of shadow work.
Yes.
Yes.
Heavy.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So yeah, because especially when Jupiter was in Gemini. Like
Hmm.
interesting. So were you in your career like when did that start? How long have you been doing that? And do you realize, because it shows like you've been needing to do behind the scene work. So is that for you or even like your clients or people you've been working with?
So honestly, I feel like it's with all of it. It's definitely with me. Well, you already know the work is never really done. So it's
Yes.
like when you think you've scratched the surface on something, something else was like revealed to me like a couple days ago of like, no, we need to even go deeper in this. And I'm like, great. But I'm like, I know what it is. I'm not afraid of like addressing like my subconscious. I realize a lot of my big breakthroughs are like they come when I just meet the things that I am afraid of. And everything is on the other side of my fear. So that's it's just something that I just had to learn.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. And I say
Mhm.
that actually because that's good. You're going to be finishing up. It's funny you say like something just came back around because the sun is still
Mhm.
in the 12th house. So there's still
Okay.
focus for you to uh like wrap stuff up or do whatever you need to do, which once again is
Yeah.
still going to be a thing, but those may the sun and Gemini is wanting to highlight the things that needs to get like focused because congrats and it's
Yeah.
perfect
Yeah.
alignment that a Cancer rising during Jupiter and Cancer.
Yeah.
Did you make that? Is that why you decided to join?
Honestly, no. I just so sometimes I try not to go too deep into astrology because sometimes I can like it's that Virgo moon. Sometimes I can overanalyze things too much to where it's
Mm,
like just be patient. So like when I
mm.
see certain things are transiting, I make note of it, but I try not to go too deep into it because I know where that will end. Yeah,
Good. Oh, I love
yeah.
that self-awareness because same, truly,
Yeah,
truly,
I
truly.
feel that.
Yeah, okay, but that's good. Oh my gosh, this always happens. So yeah, this is the perfect time. I mean, this is like perfect for you. So all that work
Hmm.
that you've been putting in behind the scenes is like from now until next summer-ish,
Hmm.
because Jupiter is going to be in Cancer for a year.
Okay.
It's gonna be definitely like time for you definitely to push yourself out there even more, the
Hmm.
most authentic too. And yeah, and also yeah,
Hmm.
you are it's also, because maybe I don't know. I mean, you've also, like I said, been doing the work. So maybe there's
Hmm.
a growing into who you are, because
It
it's
is.
connected to your self-identity. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's helping me right now to, like I said, to realize I don't give a fuck, that I'm just like I remember there was this shirt that said like born to be wild. And I remember when I was little, I read that, but I realized that's just me. I was born to be wild. Like, why am I keeping myself like in a cage and like going through the my subconscious beliefs that are keeping me trapped? It's helping me to just like shed everything. Like, I feel,
Mm.
look, even on my water bottle, I wrote, it says I am free. Like, that's the energy that I'm just
Yeah.
embodying right now. So it's good to know that it's working. Like, the work I've been doing, it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and also talk about that. I mean,
Hmm.
talk about, because that's another theme for I think is important, is talking about your journey through that underworld that you just went through. Sharing
Hmm.
that, and like what themes that you, I don't know, maybe you do, but I just feel like that's an importance. Like, you weren't just doing that work for a reason, no reason. And also,
Yeah.
once again, I think of Gemini, the ruler of Gemini. We all, anytime, that's just a way
Mercury.
to show certain think, because there's always connections here. I mean, there, we haven't even talked about
Mm.
the aspects, which that's a whole nother thing. But
Right.
like these two, your 12th house and your 10th house are connected, meaning you are meant to talk about shadow work. You are meant to talk about the subconscious and being
Wow.
fearless around that in some way, or like whatever your experience is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Which also relates to marijuana, actually. Because the 12th house is all about, like, once again, spirituality.
Hmm.
And then the subconscious. And once again, we talked about, that definitely herbs take you there.
Yes. Yes, they do.
Yeah. Yeah. So you learn, I mean, representing and talking about it in a healing way and a spiritual way, that is also just
Yes.
like perfect. It just aligns beautifully for sure. And especially with that Virgo moon, which we didn't talk about.
Hmm.
Virgo moon. Um, so once again, Virgo is all
Hmm.
about, it's an earth sign, and it's about the mind, body, and the soul connection.
Yeah.
Virgo energy is here to help people through their words on how to
Mhm.
heal people through these herbs, through food, through taking care of your
Yes.
mind, body, and soul, through holistic health. And they also, once again, we know Virgo are good at the details, which is a strength
Yes.
and sometimes
A
hindrance.
weakness.
Um,
Yes.
so their
Mhm.
thing is, it's good because they can see, which once again, as a moon, you might, oh, I'm getting ahead of myself, but they can see the details in the things. That is their strength. But especially for a
Yep.
moon sign, you can be like also seeing all the things that's wrong with you, or the things
Yep.
that you need to improve on. And
Yes. It's heavy. It's heavy sometimes.
yeah, so but once again, you also are able to maybe like dissect your emotions, and maybe you're pretty self-aware because you're able to call yourself out on like bullshit, like
Yes.
shit.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
literally that's how it is in my mind. But
Uh-huh.
sometimes I can overanalyze to the point where I don't feel my emotions. And that's where the weed comes
Mm.
in. When I would smoke the weed, I could feel the emotions in my body and where I'm like holding it at. And then it helps me to process it.
Mm. Ah, I like that,
Hmm.
because
Yes.
also that's another thing, is the earth sign is, especially Virgo, can disconnect or not be able
Yep.
to connect from their, or with their feelings, because they are
Mm.
like mental, and they're.
Yep.
So but then that actually, the opposite of it is the Pisces energy. So that's like
Hmm.
bringing in those. So I love that. That's
Hmm.
interesting. That is very interesting. So yeah, because it's in your third house,
Hmm.
I talk about your moon being related to like your self-care. Well,
Yes.
what do you feel to feel, what do you need to feel safe, secure, supported, um, and cared for? And it's like talking for you.
Hmm. Yeah.
You That's important for you to like, yeah,
Hmm.
express yourself. And maybe even talk about like the way that you like over criticize yourself or something, or the analyst or the what do you call it? Yeah, the critic
Over
within you.
analyzing.
The
Yeah.
critic within you may be like sharing that with other people or talking about that or like helping
Yep.
people to connect to theirs and calling that
Yep.
out and like but once again pretty much everything that we've talked about today as far as like how to support yourself, how to care for yourself, how to heal
Hmm.
yourself through herbs is
Yes.
right on the money with that.
Yay.
So yeah, but you also know that the nodes are in are
In
in
reverse right now.
yes, you're in a
Yeah.
nodal reverse right now. So
Can I ask you what exactly does that mean? Like,
yeah,
yeah.
so it's balancing you. So
Mm,
because how do I describe this? Um so maybe we talk about the communication thing, we talk about the day-to-day
yes.
life. That's another thing for you. You probably are super um like I don't know. I want to say like not how do I want to describe it? Feel like
Exactly
you
what you
when
were
I
about
think
to
of
say.
like you when it comes to like your moon, like what fulfills you is probably like I want to say like the familiar. That like you doing your normal day-to-day things. We also didn't talk about literally like Virgo's workaholic, like you know,
Yeah.
very work focused. Once again, that 10th house being a Virgo, I mean, you're
Hmm.
very you know that, but it's actually this nodal reverse is saying, okay, we know you're like good with here. You know, it's also connected to your north node. So that is your soul's purpose for you to like do something with your voice, to write, to be, you know, to help people teach, I don't know, you know, influence people through that. But you are a little bit too, you need to connect to your like spirituality more.
Mm.
So through that though, there's a needing to go more into your ninth house energy. And just like that, which is all about learning of some
Hmm.
sort, maybe school or taking courses, maybe traveling more,
Yep.
maybe being around people from different cultures, but spiritual people, people who are
Hmm.
more Piscean, to kind
Yeah.
of get you out of that like Virgo energy of like hyper analyzing, hypercritical,
Mm.
because you're needing to be more into your emotions, and that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Even astrology, I mean, you know, reading, but like this is like you're learning through like you're exploring, doing new things. That's another ninth house thing. Stepping
Hmm.
out of the day-to-day life. So like what is something that have you had something new that you want to do that are just different than like your norm?
I've been trying to like go places that I don't usually go or like experiencing like new things. What you're talking about is exactly what's happening right now in my life. So
Oh, good.
it's good
Okay.
it's good to know. It's good to see it.
Yes, 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 exactly. Cool. All right. Well, how do you feel?
Good. It makes me when you describe my chart, it just feels, I think relieved is the word, to know that everything that I've been doing, I can be really hard on myself, and I've been learning to just go day by day and try to look at the big picture. But you just describing my chart just makes me feel so relieved. Like I genuinely feel like I'm doing what I want to do, and it's actually like paying off. It's leading towards something. So it feels good to know that.
Also, maybe potentially you
Hmm.
either there's a needing to learn, but there also is maybe a need to teach. Because that's
Yep,
another
that's
thing,
what I'm.
ninth house. So
Yes,
I
yes.
always say, where are you on that scale? And I felt the teacher energy, the guide.
I'm in my teacher era now. The other day, I got a message from like my spiritual team, and they're like, "You need to go talk about your heartbreaks," because they're like, "There are the
Mm.
things that I've been through are going to help people to heal." And I heard the message loud and clear. So I've been
Ooh,
like pivoting my content and stuff like towards that now.
yep. Very
Mm-hmm.
Piscean. Very.
Mm-hmm.
Tapping into
Yeah.
them feelings. Ooh. So yes.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, yay, I'm so excited for you. Okay,
Thank
good. All
you.
right. So to wrap up, is there anything how do we find you? What do you want to promo?
Okay, so I'm very multifaceted and I try not to keep myself into one thing, but you can find me on TikTok as unique spirituality. I think it was so funny how you said my stuff was so unique and I'm like, ah, that's the name of my
Oh.
business, my brand. So unique spirituality on TikTok. We have the High Empress of Cups on YouTube. If you're into mediumship videos, channel messages, tarot, that's on that YouTube channel. And then we have Empress Styles. That's like my fashion channel. I say like my inner child runs that channel. So anything like stuff
Mm.
like that, cannabis content, if you like that, then it's on those. But yeah, that's all of my socials.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yay. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited for your journey.